Yo, what is up, Kings? I hope all is well. I'm just going to dive right into it. I don't have a ton of time today. But it's been a little while since I have made a video for you guys. I appreciate, again, all the new subscribers. We finally hit that threshold of going over 1,000 subscribers. I appreciate all of you guys who have supported me, especially those of you guys who have been here pretty much from the beginning and shown some love to the channel. And obviously there's some others, so it's all good. It's all good. Without further ado, let's dive into this. So I don't know how many of you guys are familiar with Lav Lune. I'm sure a lot of you guys are. I'm probably going to do another video on this when I'm able to share I have the time to share the screen and do a little bit more research. But just to quickly put a pin in it, Lav Lune is known for her time kind of in the Destiny orbiter sphere field, the more liberal side of things, feminist side of things, feminist debater, that whole shebang. And she's definitely had a few conversations with my guy Andrew Wilson. And she's kind of gone through a metamorphosis. Also, she was on OF. She sold nudes. I don't know. This is just what I have heard. She has openly admitted this herself. I don't know if she did any legit content on there, like live in action content with another person and stuff like that. I guess it doesn't matter, but she's done some raunchy, just from the Christian point of view, which I know not everybody is, so I'm trying to keep everybody in mind here. She's done raunchy content, especially even for a secularist. I mean, it's considered cringe and something that definitely not everybody does. But then within the last year and a half, she started to get on this train of she is reborn. She's renewed. I think I even heard her one time say that she wished that she could be a born-again virgin, and, kind of jokingly chuckled about that whole concept and idea, which totally is fucking bullshit. Everybody knows it's some bullshit. She knows it's some bullshit. But she was kind of going into this trad con. She was sold a bill of goods as far as the whole feminist, empowered woman thing goes. She got married, but she was still holding on to some feminist stuff. And by the way, guys, I am only saying this stuff from a peripheral point of view. I do not pay attention to Lav Lune, so there might be some things that I get partially wrong. Fuck it. It doesn't really... Well, I guess, I'm trying to be as good faith and honest on this as I can. But I'm literally just going off of recollection. So take that for what it's worth. And so she's getting married, but she's also simultaneously getting on this bend of, sex work is bad. It's not as empowering as feminists want to lead you to believe it is. And I'm going to speak out against it. It's not an empowering thing for these nasty, gross men to buy your nude photos and gain access to you, which, by the way, I agree. Women should not be giving away their stuff like that for free. But the thing is, unfortunately, once that bottle's corked, it's corked. And that's what women who are smart enough to realize, which I'm sure Lav is, but she's also quite stupid, but smart enough to realize that's the case. Once it's uncorked, it's done. But some of them are so deluded, they're able to change it, metamorph it metamorphosize it in their minds to literally believe in the idea of a born-again virgin. But I digress. And so anyways, I came across this morning, literally, and you guys know this, a lot of the content that I make is like, I come across something, it sparks inspiration, it interests me, and I want to discuss it. And so I was on my way to work, and I come across this video, and it's on Andrew Wilson's channel. Of course, I'm subscribed to his channel. And he is putting out, in bits and pieces, his conversation with Lav Lune. And for what it's worth, Andrew, you're a better guy than I am. I probably would have stopped giving her any sort of attention at this point because, honestly, guys, she has been quite fucking nasty to Andrew in how she speaks about him, how she speaks towards him. But I digress. That is his cross to bear, his decision to make. And towards the middle to the end of the video, well, let me backtrack. Brian from the Whatever podcast ends up coming on to the clip because he was trying to work out having Lav Lune on the pod to talk with Andrew, and it didn't work out. And there was some disagreement there. Lav was kind of bitchy and bratty, and so they discussed that. But it also came out that as Lav was trying to apologize for her shitty behavior, shitty bang bang, she was trying to apologize for her crappy behavior, that she was going through a divorce. And I thought to myself, wait a second. Did I hear this right? Because I could have sworn back in the day when she debated Andrew and Rachel, she was bragging, and other times as well, she has been bragging towards anybody that can hear that she is getting married, that a lowly woman like her is getting married, and it's going to go great, it's going to go swimmingly, yada, yada, yada. And so I hear that, and I immediately make a comment on Andrew's channel. I'm like, dude, you have to pull the clip going back to one of the last times you talked with her, where she's basically being shitty to you because she's in this newfound relationship where she's going to get married. And the debate was actually on Modern Day Debate. It was Rachel and Andrew versus Lav Lune and RC Coper, aka RC Coder. And she's just being shitty the whole episode, the whole debate towards Rachel and Andrew about their marriage and the foundation of what makes their marriage, and the foundation of their belief system. And I thought to myself, this is classic. And if I were Andrew, I would pull that clip or multiple clips ASAP. And I immediately realized that on this very video, I made multiple comments saying that Lav Lune would indeed be divorced in less than 5 years to the person that she's with. Now, for what it's worth, I don't revel in anybody getting divorced. I don't want the divorce rates to be what they are. That is a problem with the modern Western society, the modern Western secular society. Okay? I don't want that to be the case. But at the same time, it's like, and this is not like an either or proposition. It's kind of like a and proposition. She acted pretty shitty and on her high horse when dealing with Andrew and Rachel. And this isn't the first time she's been like this. And guys, you need to watch out for women like Lav Lune. Okay, number one, she's part of them boys, if you know what I mean. But number two, she is a woman that has probably, much like many women in her same circumstance, with the looks that she has, which, by the way, she's nothing crazy, but I always say she's a modern, non-300-pound woman that in any other point in history would be pretty average, where half the female population was not obese. But she has probably been handed everything. Not only that, but just for me, like I cannot listen to her for anything that she is involved with for anything longer than 5 minutes, because she doesn't take anything seriously. And none of her positions can you take seriously, because she's always changing her belief system. Now sex work isn't really bad. It once was bad. Now I'm a tradcon woman at heart, but not everybody wants to be a tradcon woman, so I'm gonna advocate for them. And but feminism is not so bad, but it's only bad here. And it's like, listen, everybody can change their opinions here or there, but I just think that this is an example of commonplace with women and why they shouldn't be in politics, because they do commonly change their opinions with the seasons. And you don't, as a man, you don't want to be with a woman like Lav Lune, okay? Because a woman like Lav Lune, who has been involved in the shit that she's been involved in, number one, she's a e-girl. Secondly, she's been on OF, and she was trying to brag about how she's going to be super successful in her marriage, and she's going to be the outlier, and, doing OF really isn't that bad, and being empowering really isn't that bad. While that's the case, have gone through so much in their life, a lot of it their fault, but some of it not, that they're really damaged. And you can spot this woman from a mile away once they get past 30, because it starts really wearing on the way they look and the way they act. Like, you can just see it in their outward disposition. They've gone through a lot. And they're also simultaneously, and women in general are quite good at this, they're very good at camouflaging who they are. They're very much chameleons. And you have to be extra careful with a woman like Lav Lune, okay? Because they are very good at their skill set in making men believe one thing, when in reality, once they get what they want, it's quite another. And again, this isn't like just specific to Lav Lune, but women do this a lot, and I'm sure there's some men that do this too. But I would say it's more common in women. And just this kind of like not give a shit about anything, and there's hardly ever any accountability for the shit that she says, that she does, but she also wants to simultaneously be taken seriously. It's like, listen, Lav, if you really wanted to give your marriage a chance, you would have completely just gotten off the fucking internet and tried to live a normal life. But see, that's the problem, is e-girls like Lav Lune, they can't help it. They have to have more. They have to have just a semblance of it left, a smeltering of it left, and hold on to it, because it's a little hit to the vein. That's what it is. And again, not necessarily specific to women, but it's more pronounced in women. They need that hit. And I guarantee in her marriage, that was something that was brutal, because she also commented that her husband did not want her to go on the whatever podcast, and that's why she ended up not going on, or part of the reason. The last thing I want to mention, and I only say that to say that I guarantee her e-girl lifestyle was strife. It was ridden with strife in their relationship. I feel fucking lame saying that, but it's true. I mean, no man wants their woman to be online talking about all this bullshit. Like, get offline. But the last thing I want to talk about is just how women like Lav Lune, and this is the biggest reason you need to watch out for women like her, they may act like at times that they like men, that they're attracted to men, which they probably are. But they are the biggest succubuses that exist. In reality, they only want you for what you can provide to them. And because of the experiences that they have had in their life, which again, a lot of it is their own fault. It's their own fault. They need to take accountability for that. But because of those experiences that they've had, deep down inside, they hate men. And I would even dare to say that they probably hated men even before that, because unfortunately they didn't have a strong masculine father in their life beforehand, which is why they got into OF in the first place. And so it is so rich for women like Lav Lune to talk about how, men can be these soft and sympathetic, feminine creatures. That is bullshit. There was a recent clip that was dropped. I just watched a video on this. He's a black actor where he, and I watched a video from, I'm pulling up my history here. It was from Manosphere Highlights Daily. I actually think this guy makes good content. And I'll probably do a video reacting to this in the future, like I said, when I can share my screen and stuff like that. But Terrence Howard says the videos discusses how men are not fluid. We are not allowed to be fluid because we have higher responsibility called to us. Right or wrong, fair or not, that's the case. And Terrence Howard goes on the PBD podcast and talks about how big of a cost it is to lose your man card. In other words, to be penetrated as a man and to be in the submissive as a man. Once it's gone, you can never get it back. And so I say this just to talk about the power of manhood, the power of masculinity, and how no, it is not fluid. And women like Lav Lune are so off base when they try and spew this garbage out into the ethosphere, because in reality, they only do it because they dislike men deep down inside. If they truly had a positive outlook on masculinity, they would admire and revere it and love it. Normal women admire, revere, cherish masculine men. But LavLune does not. So you got to be very careful with women like this, guys. I'm telling you this, and unfortunately, there are so many modern women that are just like her. That's the reason why I wanted to make this video. This is not like a rare sighting or, look, unicorn there. No. This is, unfortunately, extremely frequent, for lack of a better word. It is just so rich that somebody like Lav Lune consistently talks about how, men need to cry more and, we need to promote women into positions of authority. And, it's like, get the fuck out of here with this feminist bullshit. The same feminist bullshit that led you to go into OF while also 2 years down the line saying that OF was so bad and you getting into sex work was so bad. But yet you're still arguing with the same people that would have told you that those things were wrong, but you don't know what you don't know. That's the thing is women like this, they don't know what they don't know, and they don't know a shit ton, and they'll just continuously be spinning until they can come to terms with God and with masculinity. They will always be spinning. They will never be able to stay down in a relationship because they will never be able to love the man for who he really is and his masculine tendencies. All right, guys, like I said, I might do another video like this in the future. I got to get out of here. I got to hit the fucking gym. Haven't been able to do that in a while. Be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe. You guys know the drill. And last but not least, DBAP, don't be a pussy willow and facts or feelings, because your feelings just don't matter. Stay strong, kings. See you guys next time. Peace. Christ is king. Peace.